Hi, let's take a look at this code here. You see there is a variable here that contains a list, and in this list there is another list here, and the first string is a link to an image. The second string is a multi-line string that contains some text and some HTML code here to show an a multiple choice sort of a list, let's say so. And then we have the solution of the of this test here. And then what we have here is another question in another list with an image, a question, and an answer. So after these multi-line strings that contains our questions and answers, and also some images to show together with the text, we have a template here, and this is the how the HTML will be, but we do not want to write a lot of HTML. We just want the template for the where we want to put image, and we have a placeholder here. We want to have the title that is in bold text, and we want to have the input type text that will contain the user input, that then will go and look into the on-change code and to evaluate this if the answer is right. Okay, so what we are going to do is we don't want to write the HTML code. We want to take just this template here, and then we are gonna make Python write the code for us, taking the different data from this multi-line string and creating the JavaScript code through this Python code. Okay, so it will take all the questions here, all the data for the questions for Q and S in Sol. Sol is the multi-line string here, containing it is the list of lists that contains the questions and the answer. So what it does, it takes the first list, for example, and then the second, etc. In the first list, we know that it is this QNS variable that contains this thing here, and so the QNS0 will be the address of the image. The QS1 will be the text to explain what do you the question practically, and the QS2 is the answer. So it will go, and if it is if there is no image, or better, if the image is for the first one is not empty, because I wanted you to have the chance not to put an image. Just if you want the image to appear, you will put your link here. If you do not want the image to appear here, if it's not empty, so if you want the image to appear, you will replace this placeholder here with image search QNS0, so this thing, and we'll search the image and we'll show it with a width of 500. I thought that this could be good, and instead, if it's empty, it will just make template equal TPL, that is this thing here, and then it will replace just the question, tag here with QNS1, and then will be replacing the XXX with a D plus a number that will be increased each time. So this will be ED0, this will be EB1, ED1, and will be go here, because the ED must be different for each one if you want the exercise to work. Then we go and change the solution that is in here, because when we insert our answer, when the user inserts the answer, it will pass the value that the user um, typed in the answer, and also the solution into this function here, that is also JavaScript, that will check if the two are equal and will alert OK if it is. And so that's all. Then it adds a line at the end. It increases the counter because the D will be increased the next time that we will create another question, and then we will add the template to HTML. Let's see what happens. And then at the end here we will create a file called as mpo.html in which we will write the code, and then we will start this file to make it appear. So we just have to run this to see what is the this is the result. We have two identical image. This is because I did it, so I can change this. If you want to see that, I can change every image, and let's see a random image of animals here. Let me get this, copy the address, go into this, and go into my data so you can see what you have to do for each question. Gonna copy and paste it, save it, run it, and so here is our image, and this is different from this one. You have to put your answer here. This is a you have to choose 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the right answer. So let's say 1, it's not 1, let's say 2, it's 2. So because you see the alert here, and instead it says how many animals are here, and are 2 animals. So it kinda works, but let's see one moment for the, you see here I create these, each time I create again this function code. I think I can fix this. I don't need this to be written every time, so I'm gonna just delete it from here, call it here start equal this thing here. Then I'm gonna do at the end here HTML equal start plus HTML. Let's run it again. It should work like before, but we should see this function just once. Okay, so it's now we will not see this function so many times. So this is an idea about how you can easily create tests. I often do posts like this. Before I use different ways, and lately I'm thinking about this template thing here where you can put placeholders inside, where everything that is fixed, that don't need to be changed, is in the template, while the things that have to be changed are in some sort of placeholders. Then I'm gonna put my data into a list of lists like this. And then with Python, I'm gonna just iterate through the data and just replace the placeholders with the actual data in here. Use an HTML variable and a counter, and in the HTML I'm gonna accumulate the HTML automatically created while Python iterates through the data and replace it into this template. And so at the end, I'm gonna save my code that is in this HTML variable into a file and then show it. And then I can just go and look at the code, grab it, and copy it into my blogs where I need to use this test for my purposes. And of course I can make it better. I can change instead of the alert, I could use a different way. I can use a div down here where it says okay, it's right. I can also make you unable to change the questions once you entered your your question, so that the user cannot try all the solution until he finds the right one, but just one. At least he could always refresh the page, start again, but he must put then all the answers again because they will be cleared. And so I think the next time I will add this thing that I'm talking about now, and we will make it so a little bit nicer and more complex. But for now, I wanted to show just the easiest way to do it so that you can eventually change it and make it more personal for your need. For the moment, this could just be right. You could, okay, here I made this sort of multiple choice that it's not, it could be changed to some radio buttons here, but it will be we should change the code here to make it possible. At the moment I wanted it to be more flexible so that you can enter just a short answer here, but I thought, well, you can also put this list here and ask to insert a number so that it could be also used if as a multiple choice answer if you want, and inserting just a little bit of HTML code here and not just text if you want. But this is more suitable for short answer, while I have in other posts I have showed some very nice looking kind of multiple choice text that you can find if you go in pythonprogramming.org. You should find it here somewhere. I think, for example, here, customize quiz in JavaScript with Python and Ginter. And let me, okay, hide some ads here. And so if you go and check this, this is a more complex code, but not very difficult to use to make your test. And you can show a video here where I explain how it will be like, and there are also other examples here where I think you can see. Oh, here is another one. You can write true or false, and here you see you cannot change later what you have wrote, so it becomes blue if it's right. I'm always right. I can. Okay, this is wrong, and this goes red. This is another way to make your test. I got other kind of tests where I am explaining how how you can do it. So you get a lot of this example on on my blog. So that's all for now. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please subscribe and see you soon.